Good morning, folks. Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jack. Hi, Joshua. How are you doing? Hi, Ankit. See Kate and Nicole also. Welcome, everyone.
Just give it 30 seconds maybe for everyone to join.
Yeah. Pratmesh is here also. Hi, Dia. Welcome, everyone. We'll get started in a sec. Just people are coming in, and then we will get going.
Shall we?
Yep. Let's get going. Yeah, we have a bunch of folks and others can come in. We are also recording this, so we will share this back with you. And of course, um, we will have a time for Q&A, and then we can also address other folks who have questions to this. So let's get started. Firstly, welcome everyone. My name is Uttiyo Ray Chaudhary. I'm the Vice Provost at the University of Denver. And joining me is Swaraj. Swaraj, you can introduce yourself and then we will talk a little bit more.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Uthio. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the co-founder and director of KIC Universist. We really help universities with their global engagement, work with over 400 universities in 20 plus countries, and help them with their engagement with over 1,000 high schools and colleges around the world. And thank you, Uthio, for having me on this.
Yeah. So thanks everyone. So I'll begin with a little bit of a story of how did we arrive here and why we need this and all of this. So I mean, Joshua here probably knows. We had been working in higher education. I've been there over almost 25, 30 years now. And this entire time, as anyone in higher education realizes, the need for data and the need for real-time data, accurate data, and data that you can, sift through quickly, you can digest quickly, you can understand is of critical importance. Now, there are a gazillion softwares. Everything you use today, on your phone, at work, there is a software that is solving that problem. They do wonderful things, and you have all kinds of apps, all that do, they solve the problem that they have been designed for, which is excellent. But when you are sitting in leadership and when you are trying to solve, across different types of challenges, different kinds of questions that come across to you, the biggest challenge we face is that we have the data. They're all within the system. They're all great. But are they talking to each other? And how do I get a unified, quick answer that is pulling data from various things? So there really hasn't been anything of that kind there. And we have constantly, uh, in my job, I've like, oh, I need this data. I send the request and the team gets into a scramble. And everywhere it is the same thing. We all want, uh, this dashboard that can help us see the heat map. We can see, you can see a picture and you know exactly this is going on. We have conflict in the Middle East right now. I want to know how many people are in that region, who is traveling, how many students are coming from these countries. There is a challenge with immigration. Some news has come out from the White House, and now we are all scrambling to see how many people have been impacted. And yes, there is some data in maybe some international student feed, or there is a data within the Teradata system for study abroad feed. But how do I get all of that? I mean, someone has to go in, someone has to look at it. How can I tell my board right then, right there? And so had been struggling with this for a long time, and we've been working like, we need a solution, we need a solution, we need a solution. And out of this problem, we found the solution was born out of that. So about a year ago, we were at a conference and we were talking with Suraj and others and said, we all face this. There has to be someone must be doing something. And it turns out there isn't anything out there, and said, well, we need to do it because we just need to solve this. And so that's how we created it. So, what really happens in this is you don't have to change anything that you are doing. All your softwares as they are great. Continue working with them. They have data, but you may also have some data that you collected. You did a study abroad fair and you had, you know 500 students showed up and they signed up and you got some info from there. You have an Excel sheet, you have a PDF sheet. It doesn't matter how you have data, in which format it is stored, as long as you have information. This solution, what it does is, this is like a data mesh. Just imagine 100 people standing under a tent, and this is like that tent. What it does is, it is not changing the individuality of any of the folks who are under it. It collects that information. It uses at the back end of it, it uses blockchain technology. And that creates these unique data verification models, so that the data is a golden record, so that it is not a convoluted data, so that it can, triangulate against others. And then it will work with all individual systems. And again, this is not sitting in the cloud somewhere else. This is not gone anywhere else. You are not exporting your data out, nothing. It is in your system, at your university, at your organization, right there. And what it does is, it takes all this data in. It works by integrating that, but giving you exactly the kind of question that you want. And you can create standard queries that can be in there, and we will show you some of those. But it also has the ability to create customized queries that may be of need to you for your annual reports. Say, for example, we have open doors reporting that we need to do. You can have all of that set in. You don't need to spend weeks across multiple people in your office trying to get this open doors report together, and working with, your information systems and your office of research and office that is managing all this. You click a button, your open doors is right there. Export it, send it. um, so that is what we are really trying to address here. How do we get information without creating? This is not creating data. It is giving data a unique, unified, real-time view that you need to answer questions. If we can go to the next slide, Suraj. You want to talk a little bit through this? I said some of these, but maybe
No,
Suraj
no.
can
So,
take. Yeah.
so you hit the nail on the head, and as Utio pointed out, we were looking for a solution that provides an integrated data view, because the information is there, but it is sitting on multiple systems across the entire institution. So if you think that the board members are asking you, oh, what's happening with Vietnam? How many alums do we have? How many research agreements do we have with them? Oh, I have a delegation coming, so we need to present all of this. How many of our faculty members traveled to Vietnam in the last 1 year? To answer that accurately, to answer that with real-time data that is available, which is as of yesterday or as of an hour ago, there was no real solution that exists. So this solution, currently having a mesh, exists in the financial services space. and they're also using it in healthcare, but it doesn't exist in the education space. So the idea was to bring this from the outside and really provide a mesh over the data so that, as Uttio mentioned, you didn't need to change anything that was happening today. The alumni organization has their own data that resides in a certain place. The research agreements reside in their current space. But now when the mesh goes over it, it can provide us the unique view, which is real time and accurate. That is the thing. One other key thing that I want to mention, it's not that you cannot do this. There are some solutions that exist, and there are CRM solutions, but we are talking spending multi-million dollars over multiple years to bring these solutions on campus. In addition to that, there is a significant level of customization and technology resources that will be required on the internal side, right? So the question is, do you want to spend $5 million, put 6 months to a year in terms of implementing the solution, and then also utilize a lot of technology, human resources in terms of maintaining it, in terms of customizing it, etc.? Or you do it at 1/10 of the cost, talk about a few weeks of implementation, really, because once you have built in the pipes to the raw data that exists at the institutional level, you've set it up. And then it's just going to run by itself. If a record is created, the golden record that Uttio was mentioning about, it imports it immediately from wherever that pipe has been built. So that is the whole idea. Uttio, shall we show some of the slides in terms of, so
Yeah,
we
let's.
created a sample set of what it might look like. And again, for every institution, for every university, their priorities may be a little different. But let's say we put as Uttio as the SIO. These are probably the things that he wants to see on a daily basis. So this is this is a heat map of the world, and actually you can filter it. Right now this is slides, but I'm actually going to show you in a real demo world. So for example, this is the worldwide view. It shows you how many research agreements does the institution have, how many study abroad students do you have, international students on campus split by undergrad, grad, doctoral students. How many institutional partners do you have? How many active agreements do you have? So again, this can be modified based on what the institutions are looking for. But then you can actually, it's all clickable, and we'll show that to you. But for example, we went into the alumni abroad bit. It can actually give you and show you where are the international students and where are they coming from. If I just look at the Germany bit, if I click on Germany, it will show me all those specific priority that we have, but just for Germany in total. And as you can see, the at the bottom, you can see those are blue in color. Those are clickable links. So you can actually drill down and get to the base level for each of these metrics. This is another example of India. And then if you go into the study abroad students dashboard, for example, if the by UK, it can actually go at the college level and also show you, and you can start looking at it in terms of which student went, where did they go, etc. So really you have the ability to not get it only real time, but also the ability to drill down to the last level. And again, internally you can define what level of access who has, right? So at the senior most level, they may have access to everything, but a few levels away, you may be able to say, okay, you know what, I don't want you to have student level access. You can only have departmental level access to be able to see how efficient is the department being, what were the revenues that you brought in from a partnership standpoint, what were the budgets that were being spent. For example, what were the SDGs from a United Nations standpoint, which SDGs are we doing good at, and which SDGs do we want to invest more in. So you can start analyzing all of those pieces.
And this gives you not, it will give you, you can create pie charts, you can separate them, but you also have the individual student data in there. So you want to drill down and go to the student, you can go to that. You want to see a overall view, you can see that. You want to see a trend analysis, you can see that. So, once the data is there, all this slicing, dicing, integration, differentiating, all of this is possible because now you have the information already there. The challenge has been these have all resided in different places. This mesh is bringing all of that together in one place without touching anything. You can continue to use the other softwares for whatever purpose you do, for enrolling people, for doing other things, for doing your CVIS work, all of that is fine. But how do I get everything in one place so that I can tell someone, here, you want this information, see it right now. You can share it to your board, you can have it at your meetings, you have councils you can go to at any point in time, they can look at it. And you want to now individually drill down and you want to see any one sector, an individual student, the details on them. Once they have been in some system that you are using, real time, it will keep updating and it will be there for you. Um, so
Utyu,
let
do,
me,
do you think we have quick time for me to show a demo?
yeah, let's show a real time demo
Give
on
me
this
one
also,
second.
if you can. Yeah. So we're going to pull up one of these sheets and we can actually click through it and see. So like this is the international exposure map that we were talking about, and we're looking at this dashboard. And these are just demo data and demo categories we have created. You can create any category you like. So, like partnerships is someone that most people don't do. And so we always struggle with how many partnerships we have, what partnership is there, how many MOUs are in that, how many of them are study abroad partnerships, how many are, research partnerships, all of that. So study abroad students, that is a, data you need all the time. So you click on study abroad students, then it generates, it creates this. Now you can go down, you can click on any one link over here, and it will tell you, the data on that exact student, where they went, which country they are from, when they came in, when they started the program, when they ended the program, what is their status, on which date did they enroll with you, when do you think they're going to graduate. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can put any field here that you want, as long as you have that field in some existing system that can be brought in to this system. So, as you hover on this, it tells you all the various aspects that you're looking at by percentage. You can tell them, oh, we have 70% students going on undergrads, we have 30% students who are grad. Any of those kind of things you can give at that level, but you can also give accurate stats.
Right. So Utyo, for example, out here, I just clicked on nursing. So now you can look at which were the nursing students who went for study abroad, right? And they're going to all of these countries. And what we could have also done was go back and do it by country,
Yeah, we
right?
can do
And
that.
and
Yeah.
and that's the way. So I'm going to actually take the filter away, and go back to the main one. I'm sorry. I'm going to take this filter away also. Yeah,
Just
and
click
you
on a
could,
country.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And we could just focus on a country and go from there. So if you go to Canada, uh, we can go down, and Canada you can do alumni abroad. and it will give you the 7 alums from Canada.
And it tells you when they came in, what their collaboration has been, are they active, they are not active, you know, all that kind of.
Yeah. And you could, obviously, let me take the Canada out. So that's your full thing. And you could go into the research agreements, and and
Yeah,
again, these are all, you can define what you want to analyze. So as I was saying, by UN SDG, you can say, okay, you know what, which one should I analyze? Or by area, you can just go into global health, and it will just give you the ones that are focused on global health. It then also gives you which countries are those global health pieces coming into. So you can continue to slice and dice as you wish. uh, and this is at the touch of a data, at a click of a button, the SIO can have all the numbers. But as Utio pointed out, the most important thing is, one, the data is not leaving where it is resides currently, so nothing really needs to be changed. The second thing is, it's not going outside into a cloud, so from a data security and privacy concerns, there are none. And then from a speed to market and cost standpoint, this is far more effective than than spending a few $1 million. So that is critical.
yeah. So you don't need a new CRM system. You don't need to, I mean, like, yes, you have Salesforce or this, that, you can create all this, but that takes months and millions to do that. And what we wanted is simple stuff. I mean, now, yes, you can, many people probably do some of this. You could do it in Tableau or something like that. But, you have to insert the data. Every time your data changes, you have to go again, update all that model. Then you have to, know someone who's doing it, and everyone doesn't have a ready accessibility to it. So how can we make it really simple and bring in, but also that the data is not confounded, it is real time, and it is integrating all the other systems. So, it this was something we needed. I've been, you know, there's some folks here who worked with me. They know this. I mean, this kind of thing they are dealing with, we all deal with all the time, trying to find out how do we answer these simple questions that are all data related. How can we get this analysis? How can we, represent quickly what is going on? And we can do this. Now to this, you can add things like travel, how many people are traveling to our country. You can, any kind of field you can imagine, you can put in there. If you have data, that will all integrate, and it will get, represented here. You can code it the way you want it. And then there is, of course, this ability for you to click and export data for ready-made annual reports you want, for IIE open doors, other reporting needs you have, you can create all those kind of things. Right now, I mean, immigration issues are a big challenge. I mean, there's at different times you have these kind of requests that come in. Oh, now we have, immigration challenges with 7 countries that are on the list. You can immediately click and see right then who are the people impacted, how many people do we have in these countries. You don't have to go send a query, wait for 2 hours to find out, and then present that data. You can do it right then. You can present it to your leadership right then, and you have all the information ready. Absolutely. um, but this is something that you should be able to, easily access and do. George, thanks for being there. We will share more information. uh, I'm
Right.
responding to some of the
Right,
bits
right.
that are coming in.
And Uttio, while you were talking, there are two things that come to mind, right? One, there was, from an SIO standpoint, almost the way I've been thinking about it, every Monday you get presented with the challenge of the week. right? And it keeps changing. So recently we had the travel ban, and so that was the thing. But now potentially there's another bill on the table, right, which impacts 30 plus countries, and the
Yes.
question will be, okay, so how many of our students will get impacted? Are any of them traveling outside? So those kinds of answers, and people are looking for them really quick. There was another one where we had said that, oh, you know what, the research funding to China may be impacted, and if that's the case, I'm sure right from the board members and the head of the institution, the questions are coming saying, how much did we spend last year, or how much grants do we have? All of those questions for the SIO, the need of the answer was yesterday, right? When the question gets asked, they want answers immediately, they want answers accurately. And so to be able to say, okay, you know what, that I am linked to the raw data, and this is accurate and real time, that goes a long way.
And again, to each university, you can customize your field the way you need it. Um, Answer the questions the way you want it. I mean, there's some standard ones that are already like, I mean, I put this together for the kind of things that we were working on to answer the questions that I had. You may have some different questions, like connected to whatever you're working with for study abroad or within study abroad, uh, by year, by college, whatever kind of information. Once you have information in a field that you are using in any kind of software and you have linked this, that data is available for you to readily, in the form of a visual, in the form of analysis, in the form of clickable links, and driven down to the actual base data level, it is all readily available in one source. So this is really doing three key things. It is integrated across systems, it is real time, it is unique, and it is a unified view that is needed. So that's the gist of all this. Um, Suraj, you want to add something else, and maybe otherwise we can do some
I think we
questions.
we we are good. We can possibly. I'm just going to bring back the presentation, um, so that we we can just run through the. And as we have shown, you can get down right to the student level, go into each of those pieces. Yeah.
So we are at the 30-minute mark. I know many people may have to go, but we will send this recording. If you have questions, we can, later on follow up with individual things. This is, again, we needed this, we built this, and we are happy to share this with folks so that people and universities can work on this, can adopt this. I know I have needed it, and I know many others who need this, and this was not available anywhere out there. And so we said we have to build this so that we can solve this solution. So we did this as a poster, and we got an overwhelming response, and everyone said that, oh, please tell us more about this. So we said, well, we will do this webinar and then we will see where this goes. So here we are.
So thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll take that. Yeah. Utio, there's one that we had gotten in advance, and essentially from an SIO level, of course, this is something new, but in terms of your current solutions that are there, how much time and how much effort is required to really pull them together, and what is your biggest challenge out there from a data standpoint?
So our biggest challenge, like I said, from the data standpoint right now is We have the data. Within individual systems, these data reside. But every time we have this kind of information request, we have to go to that team. Then that team sends it down to whoever is handling the data. So, say it is related to an international student. I will reach out to my director for international student services, who will reach out to the CVIS coordinator who's running the data. They will query whether you are using the Teradata ISSS system or you are using synapses or something. Then you find that information. That information is not probably organized by country. Now you have to query through that, find that information, collect it, send it back, then they email it back. So by the time I make the request to by the time I get it, it could be hours. If it is after hours, it could be days. If it is on the weekend, I may have to wait for, you know, uh, Monday morning for the data to come back. So there is a decay in information and there is a delay in information in both these things. But as soon as I say present this information about 20 international students from Ghana are now impacted potentially because of this ban, and I'm talking to the president about it, and the president says, and oh, by the way, do we send any students to Ghana right now for study abroad? And there I am stumped again because I have to go back, I have to again make that query and come back. Right now, I go to Ghana, I click the link on Ghana, and I know everything that is happening in that country, who is visiting, if I have a research agreement, what kind? If I have study abroad students, who are they? If I have international students coming in, where are they coming from? So most of the questions are all being answered right then, right there, you know. So this is, uh, I mean, we have faced this problem in perpetuity. I'm really happy. I mean, this is a solution that I've been craving for decades. Never had the time to put all this together, but we finally have reached here. I think it is helpful to us, and I think it will be helpful to you.
Yeah. A couple of more questions, Uthio. It's asking about how long would it take for a university to set this up?
So the setup in this is once we have the data, I think this is a matter of at max of weeks, as long as you have all the data together. All we need to do is overlay this data mesh and actually add the feeds. So think of it like a platform or like a roof that sits on. As long as you have the feeds that come in from wherever you are, have data that exists, and that doesn't need to be in a software. It could be even your Excel spreadsheets. It could be you know tab delineated file. It could be a PDF. It will pull data from all kinds of sources and put it there. And the initial setup is few weeks, maybe at most maybe a month or something. It depends on how fast you want to move on this. I mean, to for us, this was literally actually days because we just took all the information we had, we put it together, and it was right there when we created this demo. And then once you have it, you have it. You add new feeds to it, it automatically updates. You don't have to keep adding things to it. Once you have made that connection, you have new students that come into your study abroad portal and you are working with them, this feed will automatically keep getting updated. So you don't have to come back here to do anything again. Once that connection has been established, it is good all along. The only thing it would do is it will do a verification. So if you have put a unique student who is international but is also studying abroad and is also involved in some research, it just wants to make sure it is the same student. So you have any kind of unique identifier, that is what it will work on. So it could be your student ID number or any of those kind of things. So it wants to also make sure that it is a golden record. So that's where the blockchain comes in, so that the data is not convoluted. So you don't have like John Smith, if there are five of them, then which is the right one connected to what. So once that verification happens at the initial integration point, it is always good, and it continues like that. There was another
Yeah, there's
question
a couple of
from
more
Kate. Yeah.
questions, Uthio. Can
Yeah.
multiple people be trained, log into the dashboard once it is set up, or only one SIO?
No, no, no. It can be as many people as you want. I mean, it is there. I mean, anyone can query and do it as long as they have access to it, and you can create access at different levels of who can see only dashboards and query, who can actually drill down to the individual level. So, you may have data privacy issues within your university as to who has access to that. So, you can separate those levels and they will get access at that level. But it is as many people as you want. Um,
Great.
and
One
this could be
more.
used to
I'm sorry. Go
compile
ahead.
any kind of data system throughout an institution. I mean, we are just using the international student and education. I mean, you can do this for your dining hall. You can do this for health and wellness with your, office over there. You can do it for financial records. This is a solution that actually comes out and is actively used in the financial markets where people are stock trading. I mean, you can understand how real time the data is because that is changing right then and there. And you are a financial advisor, you need this information in all kinds, and you're slicing dicing it, and this is being used in healthcare. So you have a patient coming in and you need their health records. There is a continuous, say, BP monitoring system attached to the patient. So you see the data is changing, I mean, instantly, and you can see that trend analysis instantly. So this is a data mesh. You can take any kind of information and apply it to that. This is a solution in education that we're talking about, but you can expand it to any kind of information that you want. I mean, you can create
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
one
one
other example
example,
that I wanted to share was student retention, which happens
yeah,
to be such a huge priority. If you think you can link, student attendance, library visits, dining hall visits, etc., you can start seeing a student disengagement much before it gets recorded. And so if you start seeing that, oh, for 6 days the student hasn't gone to class, 3 days they are not even coming to the dining hall, and there have been no visits to the library in the last 4 months, it can pop up a red flag that can go to the student advisor to check in on the student. So you can devise your own flags also. You can also devise direct email communication, so that if you can define the rules. If this happens and this happens and this happens, an email gets sent directly to A, B, and C at the university. All of that things can be done. Alumni engagement, you can think about how amazingly this can be used. You start seeing that in a certain country you have a significant number of alumni, and now you're linking it to, oh, I have a faculty member visiting. What a great opportunity, to get the faculty member to spend an hour with a bunch of alumni in a certain city. Those are the kinds of opportunities that will start coming up once you have a view into all of this data. So I think it's really powerful. And I'm really glad that, as Uthio said, it's being used in the financial world, where in fact the transactions happen very, very quickly, and we don't see that level on the university side, but there's a lot of data. We are sitting on a lot of data, and the more points that we can link together, I think we'll be able to serve our students and ourselves much better. So I think this is really critical, that we are able to get insights from the data and also be able to do it real time.
yeah. So what people, I mean, like individual softwares do it really well for you. So you can go within the Teradata system and you can do all of this. But then if there is data not within that, then you have no idea. Then you have to go into another system. Then you have to bring the two data together to do the analysis. This is across any kind of system, any kind of format. This is just like a mesh that just integrates. And that's actually what was the need of the hour. And so we're glad that we were able to find this solution and borrow from an industry outside which is doing this. So now we have, banner data, student data, health data, whatever you want to feed in, you feed into this and query howsoever you want it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think in the interest of time, Uthio, what we can do is we can end this here, but our emails are on the slide. So feel free to shoot us your thoughts, your ideas of how this can be leveraged. And obviously we are piloting this with University of Denver, but we'd like to take this very quickly to all the other universities and help the other SIOs.
Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Happy Monday. Um, have a wonderful summer, and please reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thanks.